Hello and welcome to another exciting and insightful episode of In Conversation. My name is Bongani and this is the show where we take you through what is happening in and outside our great University of Johannesburg. And my guest today is sure doing that. I'm going to be talking to Aphelele Manyana, who is a member of the SRC at the Auckland Park Kingsway campus, and also he's running for councillor for the Ward 87. Aphelele, welcome to the show.
No, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think I was well introduced.
Yeah, I'm sure I left a few accolades, but definitely I tried my best. Well, Aphelele, I think to get this conversation running, it would be for you to take me through your academic journey here at UJ and what inspired you to pursue the degree that you're pursuing right now.
Okay, thank you very much. No, I am doing actually the BA in Humanities, which is more of a theoretical degree. Yeah, I was majoring in Public Management and Governance, and I finished the last year actually. But this year I had to enroll just for a final year module in Psychology.
Yeah.
So I got in the university around 2021. And I've been here, yes.
Yeah, indeed, which has been quite a long mile for you to be able to push as you have pushed, because currently you hold a position in the SRC at APK. Can you tell us a little bit about your portfolio and some of the key responsibilities that you have there?
Okay, so my position is the Sports, Arts and Culture under the SRC of UJ APK campus.
Okay.
So initially my position is actually responsible for every event that is created by the SRC in organizing the event. And I'm also form part of the student parliament.
Oh, yes.
Yes, so I'm able to create a Arts and Culture Council, Sports Council, which is the Arts and Culture Council is mostly on the arts and culture activities that are happening on campus and the recommendation on how can we improve the vibrancy and participation of students in arts and culture. Same applies to sports. The Sports Council is also for there to actually give me recommendations because, I mean, I can't do this thing alone. So they are my team to give me recommendations in terms of what activities can we do to increase the vibrancy of sports participation in students.
So would it be safe for me to say that your portfolio is pretty much similar to the ones of Minister Gaten Mackenzie in terms of if it was to be national, if it was that to be high up, it's something like that?
Yeah, no, I am the Mr. Gaten of APK.
Sports always been your thing. I just want to find out because you need to attend also all matches and all that as an SRC member.
Yes, sports have been always my thing. If you can maybe check the sports page of the...
somewhere there.
Yeah, you can see me somewhere there. And I'm from Eastern Cape, actually. And sports is actually the thing there, that side. So I used to play from under-9 soccer team up until I pay for the A side in the community soccer. But I had to apply now at the University of Johannesburg because I've seen how active it is in terms of sports also, the exposure that you can get this side, yes.
Yeah, indeed. And of course it is clear with the book and the regalia that you are a member of the Economic Freedom Fighters Student Command. Tell us what drives your political activism, in a university context rather.
Oh, okay, no. Since I've outlined that I'm coming Vele from Eastern Cape, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the access and the accessibility of university like that, it's more difficult to us who are coming from that side because even now I've left a lot of youth that side that actually qualifies to be here. And I'm not special, but I was just at the right time, at the right place and have the right equipment to apply. So I think what drives me actually to be part of the EFF Student Command is that we are actually engaged in a revolution whereby we are actually making sure we give accessibility to the most vulnerable and the hopeless and actually making sure that they get access to education and quality education as well.
That also brings me to now try and link. Of course, you're a member of the EFF Student Command and also currently a deployee for candidate to being a councillor. I want to find out how does that now intersect with your student leadership? Because of course you're still a student, but also you are active politically. As you said, some of the aims that you have is to make education accessible, as you also have access education to at this point. So I just want you to take me through your responsibilities now that link and build you as a student leader.
Oh, okay. So let me first start by the constitution of the
Yes.
EFF, right? So the EFF constitution doesn't allow you to be a member of the student command without being a member of the EFF, the mother body.
Yes.
So by being a member of the student command, by
Okay.
virtue, you must be a member of the student command.
Okay.
And then I think our setup, even here in Auckland Park, we are staying in the communities. There are students who are staying off campus.
Yes.
So by that, the struggles actually in the communities have also become our struggles as students. For example, if there is no electricity in Auckland Park, we don't have electricity as students. If there is no water, we don't have water. I think you have seen that the university has also now tried to get water tanks and also increased the security around the raid because of the crime that is happening off campus, meaning that what is happening outside the university influence what is happening inside the university. So as a student leader, that actually made an intersection in terms of how I become active on campus. Because if a student is affected by something off campus, the resultant of that thing, it will be to us as student leaders inside. So the EFF has given us an opportunity, since even in the country at large, everyone has been like crying, Guti, there must be actually young leaders, and the EFF has granted us that opportunity.
Yes. I like how you intersected that Auckland Park is within a community, and right now, as you are running for Ward 87, what are some of the parts? You mentioned Auckland Park, I'm sure Brixton as well.
Yes.
What are some of the places that are included on Ward 87?
Oh, it's Auckland Park, it's Brixton, it's Parktown, Mel Park.
Yes.
And it's Greenside.
Greenside, okay.
Yeah, so it's them, and it's I failed to pronounce this name. It's eight Reitstram. It's here.
Oh,
this
okay.
side. Yeah.
I wouldn't have said it any better, of course. But these are places that also are that students reside in, and I like that how you linked it with the students. So my following question would be, how then do you try to ensure that you address the needs and concerns of both people that are in the university and the communities that are surrounding the university?
Also, I stay off campus, by the way.
Yeah.
So every time that there is no electricity or no water, so I also engage there, because when it comes to the community, I am a member of the EFF, not a member of the student command. So by virtue, I must engage in being active within the EFF branch that is close to my campus. So like that, I become active in like activities that seeks to demonstrate to institutions like City Power, for example. When there's no power, I demonstrate there. Then community members saw, good to know, in this young man, there's actually leadership. And indeed, if now your name has been put forward for such a big role as a student leader, and as you said, that the nation is crying out loud for young leaders to come into play and also try to transform our societies. And I'm excited for you that you managed to raise your hand as well, and people saw potential from you. Are there any initiatives, though, or projects that you've been involved in that probably seek to benefit the Auckland Park community? Yes, we've been, and actually now there is an outrolling activity. We're just trying to identify in terms of where to implement and how to implement it. We are also trying to get trucks. Yeah, as we also manage as the SRC to speak to the leadership of the university that at least there must be backup water if you don't have water. It's the same thing that we are also implementing outside in the community. So we will be rolling out trucks, tanks of water that will circulate around Ward 87. And the other is that but it's most probably just outside the ward, but it affects also people around the ward. So we have managed to implement a 24-hour operating clinic, which is also part of my manifesto, to actually operate it throughout the Ward 87, that clinics must operate 24-hour, because I mean, you don't have a timetable in terms of when you get sick. So the clinics must be accessible to you. And we are trying to get home visit for the elderly and the immobile or people living with disabilities. We are trying to increase the capacity of clinics so that there will be nurses going to the houses. And by increasing actually the capacity of the clinics, that means there is also more employment opportunities for our students who have done nursing, who have done these kind of degrees, right? So that they can also have on-job training and actually be absorbed by these institutions.
Are there any other key points from your manifesto that maybe you'd like to share with me? As you did mention that the 24-hour access of clinics and primary health care. What are some of the key things that you have in your manifesto?
Yes, our main focus in my manifesto, the outline, is on power outages. It's on water. And the power outages one is a serious one, because I mean, they have publicly announced that no, there will be no load shedding. But here we are still experiencing unannounced load shedding, you know, and sometimes at least we prefer to get a time with, hey, by this time,
just do your thing and
be fine, you know. So we will robustly engage on those in the city of Johannesburg, that we are lowering power cuts, and we are saying that each and every complex or place where people actually live, there must be water tanks, Jojo tanks. It must be a compulsory requirement that there must be water tanks, right? We are actually trying, because we cannot rely at Auckland Park on the security of the university, right? So we are saying to address crime in areas like Brixton and Auckland Park, and even middle class residents have become now more vulnerable to these criminal activities. So with the assistance of the MMC for public safety that was deployed by the EFF, we will deploy and make sure that there is JMPD around the whole Ward 87, each and every corner, because we can't find a private security like that. They won't operate like that because they are not paid by us. So at least if we involve the state, the JMPD, and make sure, so those are the things that we're trying, and the healthcare one, to make a health accessible to the residents of Auckland Park.
Well, trust me, right now for me it's like those are very powerful, and those speak to the needs of the people in the community, right? But now I can't help but wonder, to be like, I'm sure, are you the youngest in the ballot? Because I feel like, I don't know, your competitors, because you know the political landscape is still highly dominated by the elderly. So are you not shaken a little bit? I know your organization is big, but as an individual, to be like, this is first of its kind. If I'm, I don't know, I think as far as I can think, I think this is potentially first of its kind to have a young man contesting for such a position. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's pressure, but me being maybe pressured because I'm the youngest. Currently in South Africa, yes, I'm the youngest. But the youngest councillor was Councillor Steenkamp. Yeah, in Mafokong municipality in Randburg. He was the youngest.
How old was he?
20, imagine.
Wow, okay. I think so you older than.
Yeah, he was 20. He was the youngest councillor. But currently, right now, I am the youngest councillor. And I think that at this current point in time in South Africa, just by being a person, I mean, you are vulnerable to crime.
True.
So,
Yeah.
I don't feel pressured. Maybe I think it's the leadership skill within me
Within
also.
you.
Yeah, I don't feel pressured.
Indeed, and I wanted to get to that actually, to say you wear many hats, balancing academics and balancing leadership roles and your political activism.
Yes.
How do you try your best to manage your time to make sure that your goals are achieved?
Yeah, no, that's a very important one, because I mean, even to be in SRC, you have to meet a certain academic criteria.
Yeah.
So I think from last year when I was the SRC candidate until now, I've managed time management is very important, because I set goals. I have a timetable in terms of this time I dedicate it to the political ground force. This time I make sure that I dedicate it to studying, and it's most at night that I dedicate it to studying. During the day I attend my classes, then I am on the ground in the university and outside mobilizing. And the other thing is, that's why actually most of our leaders now have become incompetent, because they are centralizing power. So by forming the sports council, by forming the arts and culture council, I decentralize the power to them so that they can operate.
Okay.
You understand? So by that, I'm not pressured. I don't have a lot on my own. I just ask for reports and see how far are we moving and like that.
Interesting, yeah.
So yeah, that's the technique that I've used so far.
Oh yeah, that's a smart one, because two hands are always better than one. You know, when more people are involved, less load is on something, which speaks to the load reduction aspect. You know, you try to reduce a load on one element. So yeah, that's really a powerful technique. And I'd also like to find out, with that being said, I would like to find out your short-term and long-term goals, both academically and politically.
Yeah, since my degree, it's a more of an academia degree.
Yeah.
So I seek to be granted an opportunity to carry on with my studies, and also, and my actually public management and governance. Right now, I think it's politics on its own, because it speaks more on the demographics of how people get service delivery. So I'm also managing to actually intersect the two, because they complement each other. So my long-term goals in academics is also boosted by my long-term goals in politics, because in order for me to become a minister, I must be an intellectual of public management and government, so that I can be able to implement my policies that I will be actually demonstrating in parliament and so on. And even when I'm in council right now, some of the policies that I will implement, the skill I've already managed to get from public management and governance, you understand? So I will be now be able to implement, and in dealing with a population of people and different people. Even now, I think we are also part of the universities that actually have a complex, diverse population of students. So we deal with a lot of students facing a lot of challenges. Same applies to a community, because UJ is a community on its own. I mean, at APK you have, I think, 30K students, you understand? So it's a community in its own. So it makes it easier to actually address also other issues in the community, because the two intersect. And indeed, and for me right now, it would be like, for a person who's watching us right now, there's a thing that we call Monday motivation, mainly because our show airs on Monday. So I'd like you to look onto your camera and give a Monday motivation to a person watching us, whether it's a student or a community member, with regards to even leadership or anything that has managed to push you thus far. What's your message to them? Oh, okay. Firstly, I think it was not in my bio. Okay. I was first an actor at SABC. Oh, wow, really? Yeah, I was first an actor in SABC. I used to act at the estate, but it happened that the show, it used to play at SABC 3. It happened that the show had to come to an end, the season. And I lost hope in terms of maybe how will I be able to project my life and going forward. But with hope and faith and praying, I mean, you can make it through. So my Monday message is that hope and faith and never give up. Maybe a block on this opportunity might be a light opening and access in this other path. So please don't give up and make sure that you pray.
Well, powerful, well said. Well, Aphelele, thank you so much. We've came to the end of our conversation, but I really got to learn a lot, and all the best with the elections and your career in politics and in academics.
Yeah. Let us make sure that all the residents of Ward 87 Auckland Park we go out in our numbers next week on the 28th. I think that will be the deciding factor, whether the people of Ward 87 want an activist, a young person, an intellect that will be able to deal with the issues that are faced by the community right now.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for joining me. It's been a pleasure.
No, thank you very much, Bongs.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, dear viewers. You may be going through a lot. You may think there's a block, it's the end. But however, as Aphelele has stated, it can be an opening or a light to a different direction where you can prosper. My name is Bongani. Thank you for joining me on this week's episode of In Conversation.